Hey everyone. It's actually been a long time since I've done a video like this. So, Nintendo announced the Super Mario 35th anniversary celebration, which, great, that's cool. And with that celebration announcement, they've announced a bunch of new things. Well, a couple of new things coming. Mostly old stuff coming back, which that's great, that's good, I think. One of the things they announced was the Super Mario Game and Watch, which is the original Super Mario Brothers plus Super Mario Brothers 2, the Japanese one, put together in a new Game and Watch device with a cross-shaped G-pad to go along with it, so you can play the game properly. And as cool as that is, um, I kind of don't care about that, if I'm being honest. I mean, Super Mario Brothers has been released so many times on so many different platforms that Nintendo owns that I think at this point, I personally do not care. You know, like when Nintendo announced Nintendo Switch Online and they announced they're going to include NES games in that, including Super Mario Bros. Like, I and so many other people just could not care less about that. We're releasing these much, much older games that a lot of people don't care about that much anymore. Now, I'm sure there'll be some fans out there who are going to look at this and think it's going to be a cool novelty to have. They'll probably pick it up, play with it for a little while. Maybe they'll finish it, but I really doubt that too many people are going to come back to it too often. Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you'll play through Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2 and finish them maybe. But I mean, regardless, I think it's another re-release of the original Super Mario Brothers that's kind of not needed. Super Mario Brothers 1 has been released on the NES. Technically speaking, also the SNES, the remake, and I'll get to that in a second too. Uh, the GBA, the Wii, the Wii U, and the 3DS. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not the biggest Mario fan out there, even though this is kind of a big deal celebration that they're doing, kind of a big deal, important announcements that they're making. But I kind of think 6 or 7 re-releases. I think we're good on Super Mario Bros. Re-releases. I think a lot of people would just prefer to have maybe one permanent download for their Nintendo account and just be done with it. But that's how Nintendo does things. They're re-releasing Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2 on a Game & Watch, a special Game & Watch, again with cross-shaped D-pad included, so you can play the games properly. Neat little souvenir, but I don't know how much fun people are gonna actually get out of it in the long term. But in addition to Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2 on this new Game & Watch, Nintendo's also going to include a Mario-themed version of Game & Watch Ball on the little device. It's just Game & Watch Ball with Mario's head superimposed onto the screen rather than Mr. Game & Watch. Again, a nice little oddity to have, but I don't know how much fun people are gonna have with that. And that's kind of something that you could probably find online. A fun little mod someone can create in some sort of program, and you get the same effect. But this is one officially licensed by Nintendo, officially made by Nintendo rather, not licensed. Officially done by Nintendo, and they're releasing it, so there's some worth there, I guess. The next big thing that Nintendo announced was a Switch release of Super Mario 3D World, and I am so glad for this. I always wanted to play Super Mario 3D World, but I never had a Wii U, and I mean, at one point I was debating about actually getting a Wii U just to play that one game and maybe some other ones that haven't been released on the Switch. But more games from the Wii U are coming to modern platforms, like the Wonderful 101. That was one game I wanted to play. That's coming to PC and PS4. If it isn't already out already, I don't recall. I have to go back and double check. But it's on PC and PS4 now. Pikmin 3 was on Wii U only. Bayonetta 2 was on Wii U only. Now that's all on Switch. And finally, Super Mario 3D World. I always wanted to play it, but I didn't have a Wii U. You know, I had to I had to make do with Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, and personally, didn't have much fun with that game. I think that's because it was a 3DS game, but that's a whole other video on its own. These days, I'm not much of a fan of handhelds anymore, but that's something else to talk about. Uh, in the Switch release of Super Mario 3D World, Rosalina is going to be a playable character. I don't. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if she was a playable character in the original Wii U version. Maybe you had to unlock. As far as I can see, she wasn't. But maybe you had to unlock her or something. I don't know. But she is in the Switch version. And I'm glad for that because I really like Rosalina. Rosalina and Peach are probably my two favorite characters in Mario. If I had to actually pick a couple of people. The other two that I like the most, to be honest. And there's something else being packaged in with it called Bowser's Fury. Now, I have no idea what this is about. I don't know if it's going to be something built, baked into the actual game itself, or maybe something that's extra. Like if you get the physical copy of the game, you open it up, it's going to be like two game cards. One is Super Mario 3D World, and the other is Bowser's Fury, or if it's just going to be an extra mode in Super Mario 3D World itself. And I have no idea what it's going to be about, but I'm guessing it's going to be maybe a bunch of levels focusing on Bowser, and maybe like an elongated Bowser's Castle type episode. Which, cool, I guess. It'd be cool to go through like an entire Bowser themed, Mario world. I mean, that happens enough in certain Mario games, I guess. But this is gonna be like an entire episode doing that. It's gonna be much longer than we're used to in most Mario games, if that is what it is. I have no idea what it is. Unfortunately, Super Mario 3D World comes out next year in March, and I mean I can wait for it. I guess I waited this long. I'm not super pressed to get it, but kind of disappointed that I have to wait so long to get it. The next thing that Nintendo announced, interesting. Well, this kind of goes back to what I said before about like how Nintendo likes to re-release the original Super Mario Brothers far too often, and this is kind of an example of that. But Super Mario Brothers 35, it's going to be a 35-player Mario game, similar to Tetris 100, where everyone's playing against each other at the same time. You're playing online, and any enemies you defeat immediately get transferred over to someone else's game randomly, and any enemy that they defeat can be transferred to your game. And apparently there are different ways in order to, in order to determine what gets transferred to anyone else's games, like the limited time or enemies or items or something like that. So, an interesting idea, I guess. I'd probably take a look at it. I'd probably play it for a little while and see what it's about. It could be fun. I'm not saying it won't be fun, but it goes back to what I said, that Nintendo loves to focus on the original Super Mario Brothers for some reason, just that game. Even though, by all accounts, most Mario fans would agree that Super Mario Brothers 3 was the best of those original three games, but Nintendo themselves want to focus on that original first game. I mean, it is the game that built Nintendo up as a game company, sure, but they've done plenty of better stuff after it, in my opinion. But they love that original game, so they're gonna keep re-releasing it over and over again, and I guess people are gonna keep buying it. I mean, obviously that companies don't do things unless they work, and very clearly Nintendo's strategy of re-releasing the original game over and over again very clearly does work. So I guess I can't argue with it, but I just really wish they would do something else. What's interesting, or weird really, is that Super Mario Brothers 35 is only going to have a limited run. It's going to be available digitally only, and only for a few months. I think it stopped. I think they're going to take off the service like next year in March. Available in October, I think, and then up from October 2020 to March 2021. Then it's going to be gone, which I don't know why. I mean, probably the only way the games will stay around if it's such a resounding success that Nintendo can't get rid of it. But I doubt it's going to be. It's probably going to be something that people are going to play for a little while. I can't say for sure how long I'm going to play it. I will check it out. But it's weird that they're going to release something this novel for a Mario game only for a limited time. But that's Nintendo's MO, I guess. They love having limited runs for everything. See NES Mini and SNES Mini, for example. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Now, this is one that really caught my attention. One thing caught everyone's attention, really. So basically, you can play Mario Kart in your own home. That is to say, with actual Mario toys. So the idea is that you'll get one Mario Kart toy and one Luigi Kart toy. You can control them via the Switch, either with the Switch in the handheld mode, or on the Switch itself, the Switch screen itself, and or I guess using a Pro Controller on your actual TV. But you'll be able to control it through the Switch. And the idea is that you take these checkpoints, these physical checkpoints, set them up in your house in some sort of racing grid, and I suppose using the Switch, you'll draw the track using the Switch itself that the checkpoints will sync themselves to, and then you just control the toys like the RC cars. Uh, it's a cool idea, being able to see like your own house as a Mario Kart racetrack, as you're controlling Mario, Luigi, or whomever. I guess hopefully there's a Peach version, but I doubt there will be. It's probably just gonna be Mario and Luigi. It's a cool thing. I wonder how much it costs though. I kind of want to try that myself. Honestly, I do want to try that out. Uh, it's well, it's a Nintendo idea, I guess. I don't think too many companies would do something like this, but Nintendo will. I could definitely see myself having a lot of fun with it, for a little while at least. I do hope that you can probably control the cards without having to you actually playing, without actually having to play Mario Kart live on your Switch. Just I guess hook the toy up to your controller or whatever, and just maybe just be able to like drive wherever around your house or outside or what have you. I hope so. But it's definitely something we'll look into. I just hope it's not too pricey, and I hope I can actually set up my house. So in addition to stuff like that, what's interesting to me also is that Nintendo seems to finally want to embrace the internet. They're doing things like having Super Mario Brothers themed missions, I guess, something. Like if you go to the website, they'll have a bunch of like a list of tasks that you can do. I guess in real life, like I saw something that said like, "Hey, take the Super Mario Brothers quiz," and that's going to contribute to something. I don't know if it's like a community thing or if you actually get some sort of rewards for it, but in addition to stuff like that, they're bringing out new merchandise, and they're going to do stuff like have integration with like Super Smash Brothers and Super Mario Makers 2. They're going to be adding Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary stuff to those two games, and also they're going to be bringing Mario themed furniture to Animal Crossing New Leaf, which thankfully, thank you for that. Older Animal Crossing games had like other Nintendo themed stuff, but as far as I've seen, yeah, like I think, yeah, New Leaf hasn't had too much stuff, too much other Nintendo themed furniture, if any at all. Like I remember back in the original GameCube version, you could get like yeah, you can get like the superstar and like a flagpole and one of the mystery coin boxes, and you can get like I think it's Super Mario, that's my Animal Crossing. That's a New Leaf doing that. New Horizons, the Switch version. Why they name this so similarly? New Leaf on the 3DS. I remember getting the various suit from Metroid, and there's a couple other Nintendo stuff too. And I always love when Nintendo does stuff like that. Like when other companies do that, when they kind of like have, I don't know if brand integration is the phrase that I'm looking for, but it's just always fun when like other Nintendo stuff shows up in other Nintendo games, like Animal Crossing, the different furniture and outfits you can get, stuff like that. So I'm glad they're bringing that stuff back to Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I hope to see more Nintendo furniture and items and stuff show up in the game in the future. So I kind of mentioned it briefly before, but Nintendo is going to be re-releasing the Super Mario AllStars collection on the Switch. Now, if you don't know, the Super Mario All-Stars Collection was a series of remakes of Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3 on the SNES with SNES visuals. That was only released on the SNES way back when, and then it got re-released on the Wii years later, I think as part of the Mario 25th Anniversary Collection. I've always wanted to check those out. Because it's kind of, I've always wanted to see like a full-blown remake of the original Super Mario Brothers, and at one point in time I always thought the new Super Mario Brothers from the DS was a remake, but apparently I was wrong about that. It's not. It really isn't. It is indeed just a new Super Mario Brothers game for the DS. But I think the second best thing to that are the SNES remakes in the Super Mario Brothers All-Star Collection that's coming to the Switch now. I'll check it out too. Like I played and beaten the original Super Mario Brothers with save states. Thankfully, I could never beat it otherwise, but I did. And honestly, I have played the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2. My God, that game is a nightmare. I never finished it. I want to. I need to go back and try and play it again. That game is a nightmare. Like it's no wonder it was never released outside of Japan. It's insane to me like how and why they would make a game like that. It kind of goes back to what some people kind of say though. Some people actually do prefer the American Super Mario Brothers 2 though, which Doki Doki Panic, transformed into Super Mario Brothers. Kind of funny though that even though that's what happened, some characteristics of the Doki Doki Panic reskin actually made its way into future Mario Brothers games. Like, I forget who the character was, but when they replaced that character with Luigi, they transferred over his, lighter body, lighter jumps, his lighter floatier jumps to Luigi, and that actually made its way over into newer Mario games down the line to differentiate Luigi from Mario. So that's kind of a cool thing that happened there. And some people actually look at, the original Mario Brothers, the American Super Mario Brothers 2 and Super Mario Brothers 3, those three games together, they all have their own unique styles compared to each other. But the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2, it just looks like Super Mario Brothers 1, but it's just a lot harder. So some people do prefer the American version of Super Mario Brothers 2 because it makes all three of those games distinct from each other. That's a great way to look at it, I guess. But I personally still don't look at it as Super Mario Brothers 2. I still look at it as, just the American version of Super Mario Brothers 2, or just not even that. It's a reskin of a game that I think was only marginally popular in Japan. And I say that as someone who has not finished the original Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2. I will get back to that when I can. But overall, I'm glad this collection's coming to the Switch. I've always wanted to play them, so now I get the chance to do it. Side note, I would love to see like a 3D remake for Super Mario World. Does anybody else want that? I want that. That'd be cool to have. Have the 3D visuals. Like, I guess Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario 3D Land. I mean, but just like remake. Keep it a side scroll and everything. Update the visuals and everything. I would love to see like a full remake of Super Mario World. That is by far just the best side-scrolling Mario game. Like, I don't know if that's, I'm pretty sure that's not an unpopular opinion, but like that's just the best one. I played, the first. Okay, yeah. So the first four side-scrolling Mario games, one in Japanese, 2, 3, and well, in Japan, funny enough, in Japan, Super Mario World actually was called Super Mario Brothers 4. Again, going back to the whole thing, how all three games have their own distinct flavor with each other if you count the American Super Mario Brothers 2. But yeah, I would love a remake of that game. I doubt Nintendo would do that, because even though Super Mario World is a very popular game, it's very critically acclaimed, I don't think Nintendo is actually looking at that game nowadays, and I don't think too many people are in general. But if they did do a remake of it, I would absolutely love it. And now, the one announcement that caught everyone's attention, and this is by far the best announcement that they've actually made, Super Mario 3D AllStars, the holy trinity of Super Mario 3D games. Super Mario 64 from the N64, Super Mario Sunshine from the GameCube, and Super Mario Galaxy from the Wii. God, I have played around with Super Mario 64 and never got far in it, ever. So it's going to be cool to have it finally, cause it's going to be good to have it in somewhere where I can actually play it reliably, because these days, it's like, well, I think you can still buy Super Mario 64 on the Wii U. I think you can. I have to double check that. I think you can. But if you don't have a Wii U, if you don't spend all the money for the Wii U and everything, your other best bet would be either to be buy an N64 and the game itself, or find it online somewhere. And honestly, who wants to do that? I mean, some people do like doing this. Some people will prefer playing games on an emulator because you can play it in the style that they want to. They can play it with the controller that they want to. Better frame rates, better resolution in a lot of cases, sure. But sometimes it's annoying trying to find the right emulator, trying to find the right site you can download the games from and run them properly in your computer. And I've run into issues with emulators before. Not too many. They usually work for me. But sometimes you just want the official thing. You just want to be able to put it into your Switch and then just have it work, And this is a great way to do that finally. God, I never got far on Super Mario 64 ever. So, geez, and from what I've seen, I probably would never get too far on it. I'll try. I'll play as much as I can. Super Mario Sunshine, didn't get to play that much either, honestly. I really do like Super Mario Sunshine's aesthetic and the music and everything. It's gonna be great to finally be able to play it on the Switch with a modern controller. Same with the Super Mario 64 too, as a matter of fact. And Super Mario Galaxy, finally can play that too. Like, I don't know. I saw a lot of people saying this is like when Switch first came out, like maybe the first year or two of the Switch being on the market. A lot of people were saying that hey, Nintendo should bring some Wii games to the Switch, And I saw some people saying that well, they can't do that. The Wii games rely too much on the sensor bar. You can't just put them on the Switch. I'm just like, dude, you can just reprogram the games, right? I mean, that's not a difficult thing to do. Nintendo made these games; they can reprogram them to work with the Switch. Like the Joy Cons are far superior to the Wiimote and the sensor bar and everything. It'll work better on the Switch. Nintendo can go back and recode the games to work on the Switch. It's fine, but it needs the sensor bar to work. Yes, dude, but Nintendo can work around that. They can fix that. It's not an issue. So I'm glad the Super Mario Galaxy is coming to the Switch. I can play it finally. Like matter of fact, I have yes. Super Mario Galaxy 2 right here. I have this on the Wii. I meant to buy. I bought this by accident actually. I meant to buy Super Mario Galaxy 1, and by the time when it finally got to me, I bought it on eBay. It finally got to me. I'm opening up like yeah, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Galaxy. I'm looking at it. Super Mario Galaxy 2. Uh-oh. Made a mistake. But I played it anyway. I played for a little while. My setup is not Wii friendly. I'm sorry. I didn't get far in the game, honestly. Just not enough space in me to play with the Wii. I don't know how many people have that issue. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I should try a little harder or something. But yeah, not a lot of Wii space in my area, unfortunately. But Super Mario Galaxy 1 is coming to the Switch. I don't get to play that either. There are a lot of Wii games I missed, a lot of Wii U games I missed out on, a lot of GameCube games I missed out on, playing N64 games that I missed out on, and this is good that Nintendo is finally re-releasing these games, because like their stance on backwards compatibility has just been so ass backwards, it's insane. Like you have Sony and Microsoft doing what they can to preserve their games for the most part. Microsoft is very clearly doing a much better job than Sony is at the moment. Come on, Sony, you have to do better than this. But Nintendo seems to not want to try at all with backwards compatibility. They instead want to slow drip NES and SNES games out to people. When at this point in time, people want N64 and especially GameCube games and especially Wii games and even Wii U games. The Wii U failed, unfortunately, and a lot of people didn't get to play that system too much, myself included. Take those games and put them on the Switch. But Nintendo doesn't want to do that. But hopefully with the response from bringing 3 of their most beloved games to the Switch, they'll finally get it through their heads that, hey, maybe we should finally start releasing N64 games and GameCube stuff and everything on the Switch. The Switch Online gives you the NES and SNES libraries to tinker around with. So add N64 and GameCube and Wii to that platform, to that service. I mean, why not? Like a lot of people will pay for those games. Okay, so even like Nintendo Switch Online or having to pay for the games outright, like we're doing now with the 3D AllStars collection, people will still do it. They'll buy into it. But it's another example of like Nintendo being just completely tone deaf and stuck in their ways when it comes to how they operate. Hopefully, this changes their mind and decide to release more games on the Switch. And as a lot of people have pointed out too, I think like the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda is coming up too. I think I have to double check the date and time, whatever. But the point is, it's almost as old as Mario is. So with that in mind, Nintendo should also do like a big Nintendo Zelda anniversary celebration as well. Bring some of the older games over to the Switch as well, like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, all those other games. Some of those games have been re-released before, but again, re-releasing them on a modern system so people can play them more easily instead of having to go and track them down and pay an exorbitant amount of money to play them. I mean, really, everyone wins in the end for this. Nintendo gets money out of this. We get the games we want. And if Nintendo doesn't want to do this, well then the scalpers and the pirates, they'll come in and cater to everyone that Nintendo refuses to, which sucks, honestly, because like I said, sometimes it's bothersome to try to find an emulator and the games, everything to play them, get everything running on your computer. I can do it, sure, I can do it, but a lot of people can't and don't want to bother with that, and rather just be able to pay for the games and download them to the systems and just have them with them wherever they go. So in the end, this whole Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary celebration, I think has been just very very good. Uh, Nothing really new, I guess, except for the Mario Kart Live thing, which okay, that's something I'll check out. Games being re-released for the Switch, which is always a good thing. Having these older games being playable in the new system is always a good thing. I will always be in favor of re-releases. Except if it's the same one game always being re-released over and over again. Super Mario Brothers, or Skyrim, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm happy that Nintendo's doing this. I'm happy that these old games are coming back, and hopefully this inspires Nintendo to release more games onto the platform in the future. Not just Mario, but Zelda, Metroid, all the other games. Bring more stuff, not just NES and SNES games, Nintendo. More stuff than just this. So I look forward to playing, and I look forward to having something new to do with my Switch nowadays. So I think that's just about it. Yeah, nothing else to say. So I'll talk to you guys later.